Okay guys, so welcome back. This is the first article, the Mark Fruin article regarding the Toshiba paper copiers, the technology transfer from Japan to the US, so site-specific organizational learning. Whoops, let me get over here. All right, so planning for integration. Successful diffusion of innovation requires integrated planning for a maximum fit of the innovation with the existing work processes, their organization, social, and cultural systems. So what this is saying is, when you're planning on a technology transfer, especially one that's going from one culture to a culture that's very, very different, that fit has really got to be looked at across different areas of the diffusion process. So we have to look at existing work processes, the organization that we're going into, and the social and cultural systems associated with that organization. And obviously, ideally, we want to do this ahead of time. If the Toshiba case study taught us anything, it is that it's very expensive to just think that it's just going to happen. So key concepts for integration: the national or industrial culture underlies the rate and extent and nature, degree of reinvention and recontextualization of the diffusion of an innovation. So it is not just the national culture, because obviously we had two different national cultures here, but it's beyond that. It is the the industrial culture. So we had two different plants that were in the same country, one that worked and one that didn't. And so certainly they're different parts of the country, but it really is more about the culture of those plants that that changed the success of the technology transfer. So that recontextualization of the processes that were there that just didn't work across the board. What is teamwork? So, even things like, the word team is, just very different from the expectations of what the Japanese think, what team members are required to do versus the two different camps in the technology transfer. The acceptance of new technology requires cultural alignment. Technology is socially constructed. So it really is about making sure that the people that are looking to accept that technology understand all of those diffusion elements. What is the relative advantage? What is the compatibility with what they're doing now? And the complexity of what's happening, and how are we going to overcome this? So, and we think about, within a case study, how could some of the shape the path things or build habits have made a difference in, both of these plants becoming successful? In addition to that, integration across functions and technologies increases fast time to market of new products. So if we can get this to work, we've got, an avenue for fast tracking products to market. Is integration easier in some contexts and cultures than in others? Well, the answer obviously from the case study is yes. Integrating new work processes with the tacit informal organization should facilitate both the adoption and generation of innovation. So the informal organization, that's the part where people can, even though this was kind of an authority decision, right? This is what we're going to do. The people, that informal part of the organization, they've got to accept it. They've got to be willing to take that on. And that's the piece that we don't really know about until we're there and it's working or it's not. So we have to understand the system so that we can use it. We've got to be able to understand how the people are going to work with it, what's going to work and what isn't. Can we work around it? Are there habits we can build? Can we, shape the path for the people that are supposed to be adopting this innovation? And that's it.